Good morning, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. This is a quick tutorial on how to pass your Scottsdale DMV road test without making any major errors or getting disqualified for violations that take a lot of points off. So the first thing you want to do is, there is a speed limit sign on this road as you enter the DMV. Take note of this. This one says 35. If there's never a sign on the road that says a speed limit, you should just assume it's 25. In Arizona, all residential, commercial, industrial roads that are not freeways have a default of 25. So if you're on a road and you don't see a sign, especially on your test, just take it slow. We're going to go into the DMV here. I'm going to go to the back of the parking lot. I'm going to show you where the three-point turn area is located. I recommend that you practice this many times. Get it so where you can do it 10 times in a row on your own without hitting any cones. And if you need to, come here and check it out when the DMV is open. Watch someone doing their road test and watch what they make the students do, because they change this three-point turn a lot. You used to have to enter from the west side of the box and you would turn right and then back up to the left. Now they have you enter from the north side of the box. You can see there are two DMV employees here that are telling the student drivers what to do before they do their three-point turn. I'm gonna see if I can camp out here for a second with my hazard lights on and just watch and see if they don't ask me to leave or anything. And we'll see if someone does. It looks like the white car is about to go, so we'll watch them go through it. You enter, there's a green piece of paper that says start. Gonna enter in and do a right turn into the rightmost box, or the westernmost box. And then you back up towards that block wall that's right in front of us to the south. So it's very important that you line yourself up centered in the first box. That's the thing that matters the most. If you get in the center of the first box like the white car is doing now, everything else will be really easy. So I see the other car is lining up to start. It's also important when you get in that first box like the white car is to get close to the cone, turn your wheels very sharply the opposite direction, and start backing up with your wheels turned all the way. Now they're backing up towards that wall with a hole in it. I'm going to move closer so you can see it. And then after this, you just leave the box. So let me get out of here, but you can watch a little closer as they get out. Now, assuming you can pull that off without hitting any cones, of course, listen to the DMV employee. They're going to tell you exactly what to do. Here's the road test. First two things you can fail for without even leaving the DMV. Number one is going too fast before you leave the parking lot. Speed limits in all parking lots in Arizona are 10, so don't go more than 10. Just take it slow. There's a stop sign right here. Make sure you do a full stop at the stop sign. Don't put the nose of the car onto the sidewalk that you can see in front of us. In Arizona, even if there wasn't a stop sign, you still have to stop before all sidewalks. Now I'm going to hit my left blinker, prepare for a left turn, move out to my lateral curb line, because the left turn here is very blind on the left. You have to stick out pretty far to be able to see. And there are two vehicles coming that I'm going to yield to. If there's a vehicle coming that's kind of far away but not really far away, and you're not sure if you should yield or if you should go, always make a mistake on the side of being too careful if you have to make a mistake. So just wait a little excessively long if you have to, rather than pulling out in front of traffic. Now on this road, the speed limit is 35, but it's not posted to where you can see it. So if you don't see a speed limit sign, just go 25. Or, before you take your test, explore the roads on this test and you can see what all the speed limits are. So now we're going to come to a stop sign. This is a specific type called a four-way stop. I'm going to check my left blind spot and move into the turning lane without touching either of these white or yellow lines. Now I'm going to come up before the crosswalk and make a full, complete stop. Look around, see if anyone else stopped before you. If they did, yield to them. And if you're all by yourself, you can just go make your turn. But make your turn wide so that you don't touch this double yellow line on the left. That's an automatic fail if you go over the double yellow line and cut your turn too sharp. Now we're on another road where I can't see a speed limit sign, so I'm going to assume that it's a default of 25. And if you go too fast on this test, they don't mark you off points for speeding unless you hit more than 5 over. Unless you hit more than 4 over. So if you hit 30 on this road and it's actually 25, you can lose 10 points. And you must get 80 or higher to pass this test. You start with 100, things take points off. Some things like going too slow or forgetting your blinker are 2 or 4 points, but some things are very important, like tailgating, incomplete stops, and speeding. Those are 10 points. So now I see there's a line on the ground here. You have to stop before the line. I'm making my full stop. Now I can't see on the left again. There's a bad blind spot. So I'm going to move out to the lateral curb line. Now I can see better that I can go because no one's coming. Again, another road with no speed limit sign. Assume it's 25. If it is in fact 35 when you go 25, the person may mark you off 2 points, but who cares? You'll still get a 98. Just be too careful rather than too fast. Another stop sign when we turn to right. Make your full stop before the crosswalk. Now, this is a really blind corner on the left, and traffic's going a lot faster on the street. They're going 40 instead of 25 or 30. So I'm looking to the left. I'm at the curb line. I see no one's coming in either lane. You don't want to turn right next to other cars, even if they're in the other lane. That's not illegal, but it will scare people and maybe cost you some points if you freak someone out. So just stay, keep your distance from other people. Now, this only applies to this time of year in 2018. There's construction ahead of us. Later on, you may not have to do any lane changes, but I know now there's some cones and some stuff. They're closing down the right 2 lanes. So I'm getting over to the left in advance. We actually have to turn right on Scottsdale Road, which is 2 more lights down. But I'm doing it early because I don't want to wait to the last minute. I don't want to have a stressful lane change. I want to try to do everything early so you're prepared. And now when I stop, I'm leaving some room. I'm not getting all crunched up together with all the other cars. That will cost you points as well. Also, it will put you in danger if there's any kind of emergency. You want to have space so you have a plan B. You have a way to escape if there's something that happens behind you. Or if someone rear ends you, now they can't push me into another car if I'm far away. So there's a lot of reasons why you want to leave space. Keep your personal space. That's a good way to keep yourself safe on the road. And someone has pressed the crosswalk timer. That's why this light is exceptionally long right now. Now it's green. As I go through, the DMV employee is going to make sure that you look left and right and check the sides of this intersection before you go through for red light runners. Also look out for the truck across the street that's making a left. Sometimes people pull out in front of you. And now I'm going to make a right turn on Scottsdale Road, which is the next light. So I have my right signal on. And I'm going to, as soon as this construction is over, move to the right lane. And again, for your test, they may be done with this construction, so you can just stay in the right lane. And now this is very lucky for me. This light is usually very difficult if it's a right turn on red, but since it's green and no one's at any crosswalks, I can make my turn through here. And now we make a right at Paradise. Now, if you go up the Scottsdale Road at that last turn and it is red, make sure you know that you have done enough right turns in traffic, that you know the pattern of the stoplights, you know the flow of traffic, who has the right of way. Check the crosswalks, check the traffic on the left, right, and across the street before you go. Make sure it really is your time. Because if you go and don't yield the right of way, you can lose 10 points and or automatic fail if you do something dangerous or cause a crash. Of course, that would be an automatic fail. So just take that right turn very carefully. So coming up to Paradise Lane now, this next light, you notice this is a pretty short test and it's like almost all low speed right turns. So it's a very easy short test. I have my signal on, I'm checking my right blind spot, moving into my turning lane. Now I'm doing a right on red. So first thing you always want to remember, make a complete stop before you turn right on red, always, even if there's no one coming. Now I can move myself up at an angle to my lateral curb line. If you don't know what that is, Google it, you'll figure it out. It's this special line in Arizona that you want to know. There's a merge here, that yellow sign, and I have my left blinker on. I'm checking over my shoulder to make sure I'm clear, and now I'm merging back in with the traffic. So it depends on the DMV employee, the way they're going to make you go back into the DMV. The way I went in first was to go on the north side of the building. I'm going to do the one on the west side of the building now, just for demonstration purposes. You're going to notice the double solid yellow line to my left as I turn. If there's a double solid yellow lane, like there is now on the ground, I'm not allowed to go into that turning lane. What I'm going to do is signal here and turn from this outside lane. Just remember this when driving in Arizona. You don't want to be driving the wrong way in someone's turning lane. And then after you go back in the parking lot, you want to watch your speed, keep it down, and park somewhere. So now I'm going to find a spot, select an easy one, make it easy on yourself. Get good at parking, make sure you can do this stuff. Do it 50 times in a row if you have to. And give a nice straight parking job for your last move on your test, and then that's it. Then they have you go inside, they talk about the test. So here's a couple of key things to remember. Practice the 3-point turn at the hours the DMV is closed, master it, get your parking skills down, get your speed control down, and drive in the city for at least 20 or 30 hours before you try to do your test, because living in Scottsdale and in Phoenix in general, you got to be careful. There's a lot of turns and traffic and stuff you got to look out for. So get your skills up. Check out my other videos about how to pass your Glendale and Avondale Road Test. Those have more detailed explanations of the 3-point turns, and you can see them done first person. But honestly, it's not that hard. You should be able to do it with any car. As long as it's not over 20 feet long, you can do the 3-point turn easily here. This 3-point turn course is the biggest one in the state that I've ever seen. It's huge. So just practice a lot. You'll be fine. And thank you for watching. Take care and be safe.